Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha with Juggernaut Fitness TV. Today I want to talk to everyone about what my personal take is on if it fits your macros and flexible dieting. For some reason, this still seems to be a hot topic in the online fitness community, particularly in the bodybuilding world, which I don't like to touch upon too much because I'm a power lifter and I'm not really a fan of modern bodybuilding any longer. But I still like to delve into the topic from time to time. And there seems to be a lot of misconceptions as to what this topic actually means, and I will summarize it for you. I personally like the term flexible dieting more because the term if it fits your macros seems to draw out every single moron and idiot and extremist out there when the term is mentioned, because people are taking the term literally, not what it was ever intended to mean. So I personally like to use the older term flexible dieting, but in short, either one basically summarizes that what we know from all available scientific literature, from the diet side of the equation, all of your changes in body weight, body fat, and body composition are 100% a result of your net calories in and out and your macronutrient intake, your carbs, fat, and protein. It doesn't make any suggestions about your health, doesn't make any suggestions about your mood or how you're going to feel or what your appetite's going to be like. It simply makes that statement, which is completely true. And there is no credible evidence to the contrary that I have ever seen presented. Now, most serious advocates of this do not believe you should eat a micronutrient deficient diet. Every single one of them that I know reinforces the fact that you should get enough vitamins, minerals, phytonutrients, and fiber in your diet from whole foods, the amounts that you need for optimal health and function, and sometimes more if your personal needs require that. Not one of them ever says that I have ever heard, other than a couple of kids on places like Fit and the Miss Forum, actually think that it means you should eat a diet of nothing but Pop-Tarts, whey protein isolate, butter, and then pop a multivitamin and a fiber supplement. Nobody suggests that. All it means is that you should get most of your calories and macronutrients from micronutrient-rich foods, hit all of your fiber, hit all of your vitamin and mineral needs, and you have needs. Anyone who assumes that more is always better is a moron. This person may very well find themselves toxic on some vitamin or mineral or metal, or deficient in another because they ate so much of one that they're going to be deficient in another because it blocks absorption. So this idea of more is better is not just moronic, it's fucking moronic, and provably so. So that being said, most of these people are advocating that you need sufficient amounts, and if you happen to have any calories or macronutrients left in your diet, you can fill it with whatever you want. You can go ahead and fill it with brown rice or a Pop-Tart or some ice cream or a slice of pizza if you're so inclined to. And it doesn't say that if there are foods that you have a personal problem with, that you should eat them. Me personally, I don't eat meat, I don't eat milk products for ethical reasons. So that doesn't mean that I would have to eat those because of that diet. And if you have a certain food that you have an intolerance of, or an allergy to, or it makes you feel bad, or it causes you to have appetite problems because you can't stop eating it once you start, then no one is suggesting that you should eat that food. In fact, you should avoid it. Any reasonable person would do so. And that still falls within the confines of flexible dieting. And I think the worst point that I've ever heard anyone bring up, and I heard someone else say this in a YouTube video the other day, who was a guest on another show, he brought up the point of he knows not a single IFBB pro who does this. Well, I hate to tell you, but I've met IFBB pros, and most of them, you'd be shocked at what they really eat. They're injecting so much FDA grade growth hormone and so much trenbolone that they couldn't gain body fat if they ate 6 large pizzas from Pizza Hut every day. And in fact, I've seen some of them eat that way. They're on enough drugs that it doesn't matter what the fuck they eat. And 99.99% of people who are watching YouTube videos who work out have no business whatsoever worrying about any of the dietary practices or the training methods of an IFBB pro. If you cannot afford a $50,000 a year drug bill, which is what it takes to be an IFBB pro, and they are effectively not human due to their hormone levels, then you literally have no business spending more than 5 seconds of your life ever worrying about what any of their training methods or their nutrition methods are. In fact, a lot of their nutrition methods are timed around their insulin injections, which a lot of them take up to 10 times a day. So anyone who is natural or only uses a few steroids really has no business emulating the methods of IFBB pros at all. They shouldn't even be worrying about what they do. So that is literally the stupidest argument I've ever heard presented. And then when people also say, well, I don't know anyone who follows this who doesn't look like crap. Well, you should take a look at the people on my private Facebook, because I'm friends with probably 50 to 100 competitive bodybuilders. And I know at least 20 guys who post all of their junk food that they do try to work in occasionally into their diets pre-contest. And these guys come into contest at 5% body fat with shredded glutes and an 8-pack with veins running through it, eating ice cream every night before bed, just 300 or 400 calories worth, or eating pancakes with syrup on them. And for people who think that I'm just making that up and they'll say, well, they're just on extra drugs, we'll go back to previous eras and look at someone like Mike Menzer. It's one of the first guys who ever documented this. If you go back and read his logs and stuff he published, he said that for his Mr. Olympia prep, the one he took second place in, and the judges agreed that he was leaner and more conditioned than first place, that he ate ice cream every night before bed during his contest prep, and he still came in as the most shredded competitor on stage. He said he did it because he tracked his calories. So again, this is not only a moronic argument, it is provably untrue, and I literally know dozens of examples of people who get shredded to the bone for their bodybuilding shows who still work in treat foods and they follow flexible dieting. And if someone really wants to ask, I could give them a list of names this long. Alright guys, but that's enough of this rant for the day. That's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you next time. But let me give you guys a bicep shot first.